What up, Plaza? Mr. Mo here. Back again for another Photoshop tutorial. We're going to continue working with text here and messing with font. I have gone ahead and already typed out some of my font, as you can see here, right? So I've got my font that I've already typed in. I'm going to hide that again. And so with that font, right, you're just going to go here. Make sure you choose kind of like a big, bold font. You're going to want it to be black, and you would type in here and just type what you want it to say over your photo. Go to your move tool, and then you can move it. Okay, I'm not going to use that, so I'm going to hit delete. But to save time, I already put in some of my font. Okay, and then I've just hidden it. So what I'm going to do now is click on the background. I'm going to come down here to the adjustment layer, and I'm going to go to solid color. Again, remember, you want to use black for your font. So I'm going to go to solid color. I'm going to come up here and click white, click OK, and now you can see I've created this little color fill over here. I am going to make a copy of this layer by coming down here. I think this is the new layer button. By clicking this and dragging this to the new layer, and now it creates a copy for it. What I'm going to do with this copy is take it up above all the text layers. So now I've got my copy on top of all my text layers here. Okay. In one of the last tutorials you guys did, I think it was the one with Biggie, you guys used a clipping mask. Okay. And we were able to do that because we only had one text line. We're going to do another clipping mask here, but we're going to use the clipping mask with multiple text lines, which we didn't do in the last one because we just had, you know, the one string of text. I think it was the Biggie one that we did that with. It may have been the one of me and my wife. I don't remember. But anyway, so this has multiple layers of text, not just one. So we have to group these in order to use a clipping mask. So I'm going to click on my first line of text. I'm going to hold Shift on my keyboard, and I'm going to click the other pieces of text as well. And then I'm going to come up here to this little menu button, and there should be something that says New Group from Layers. So I'm going to hit New Group from Layers, and I'm just going to call this group Text because that's what it is. And now it puts all my text and it has them in this nice little folder here. So we are good to go there. Now I can click on my background copy, come up here to menu, and actually I'm going to bring my text out. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my background copy. I'm going to go here, and now I should be able to create a clipping mask. And now you can see only God can judge me. Only God can judge me now. R.I.P. Tupac. So now I have that clipped in there. We can see the words through it. Kind of cool. But we still have some work to do if we want to adjust it and make it look, I don't know, spice it up a little bit. I mean, this is cool, but I think we can make it a little bit cooler. So what I'm going to do is click on my text group, okay? And I'm going to come down here to the effects thing, and I'm going to go to drop shadow. And this is just going to give us a chance to play with it a little bit. You can play with the angle, which adjusts. You can see the bits of shadow against the white background. This kind of adjusts the direction that the shadow comes from. And my picture's darker, so the shadow may not even matter. The distance is how far away. And so you guys can do this with any text that you guys are doing. And then the spread is self-explanatory, the size. So I think I'm going to go with something like this. I kind of like that. And this is just up to you guys for what you want to do. And then I can go to the opacity, and so the opacity will show how much this little shadow is going to show. And so I may just hit it somewhere like that. I will click OK, And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on this little box in front of our color fill. And what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to change the background. And so I can use this dropper tool if I want to change the background and have it match something in the picture. You know, I can do that. And so now it kind of matches that in the picture. And then if I wanted to hit OK, now what I can do is I can come up to the opacity again, and I can mess with this opacity, and you can see that then it lets some of the picture show through. Now obviously if I let too much of the picture show through, you can't see the words as much, right? And so this is what I'm talking about. A lot of times you want kind of a brighter picture, or you may have to use a lighter color as your background when you fade in. Maybe I decide I don't like this color, and I want to use maybe a darker color. So maybe I want to use, we'll see what it looks like with this. And so you guys can play around with it and see kind of what you like and what you don't like. What this is like, what can be cool here is you guys may see this sometimes where it's like things in the back are kind of blacked out, but then stuff shines through. That's kind of what this is. I don't think the darker color actually looks as good, so I may do something like this. Click OK, come to my opacity, and then continue to kind of play with it, because we want to be able to read it still, you know what I mean? And maybe, I mean, who knows, maybe I end up clicking on it and just going with like a darker color, because I think that looks kind of cool. Personally, I like that one. And then again, mess with the opacity and just see kind of what you like, what you don't like. I think that looks pretty sweet. Personally, I like that. I could lower can maybe a little bit, but for the most part, this is how you attack this Photoshop. I hope you guys like it. Have fun with it. Peace. Hail Mary.